Hi everybody, it's Lisa Marie here in the Sweet Life Kitchen with Carl doing our 2 chef shows, sharing what we know.
That's right.
Today we've got a recipe for you. We are doing my favorite thing. Oh my God, we're doing deep fried artichoke hearts with a beautiful homemade aioli sauce.
I just want to say something real quick. A lot of times when we come on, I am happy, don't get me wrong, but if I'm smiling when we come on or it looks like I just got done laughing, it's because I just got done laughing. Before we start filming, we're usually talking about some silly stuff. But anyways, that's off subject. I'm good for that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Well, I'll tell you, so that since you guys are watching, kind of put a little context into that.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about it. There's a lot of things that people put on their menus. These guys that have these restaurants, and they put them on their menus, and we fall in love with them. And then we have that little thing in our brain that says, oh, I really want to eat da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Whatever that da-da-da-da-da is. And then you go, and you get there, and you open up the menu, and all of a sudden, poof, it's off the menu and you can't get them to make it. And this is what's happened with this recipe. I lost it. I was over, I'm not going to say where it was, but I lost it. I've lost it several times with people because I go in there specifically to eat a specific thing that they've made that they've done well. And I don't understand why these guys have these restaurants where they've got a dish that's just so delicious and then they just randomly decide, oh, we'll just take it off the menu. Because it really infuriates people like me, and you're the same. That's what we were talking about. We're both the same way.
I am the same, but I can say if being that I own a food trailer, and if I were to do that, it would be because it didn't make the cut as far as
ingredients.
Or people aren't buying it enough. There may be those few people that's like, oh, that's the best thing ever. But just those few people or whatever, So, but I understand exactly what you're saying because I have my own things that I've been upset about, and how could they even get rid of this?
Well, and that's what this is. This is one of those recipes. So, what you do is you get yourself some artichoke hearts. Now, these guys have been in a jar, and we have drained them and we've washed them. They were in a little bit of oil, which is perfectly fine. They can be in oil, they can be packed in water. I had one in the pantry that was in a jar with some oil on it marinating, and that's perfectly fine. You can get it in the little jars that are at the grocery store that are packed in water. So you could do either one. But you want to make sure you got them a little bit patted dry because they're going to be dipped like you would fried chicken,
right.
Or fried fish or anything fried. They're going to be dipped in 3 different things. Or brisket balls, by the way. You need to go check out the brisket balls. He brought me brisket balls today. Can't really say that really fast. And they're delicious. And so got to go check that out in the food truck. What we need is 2 eggs cracked and whisked.
Gotcha.
And then we've got everything set up. So I've got some AP flour here, and I've got some panko breadcrumbs here, and I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, not garlic salt, but garlic to this flour. Because you can never have too much garlic. Especially with the mosquitoes that we have going on right now in the garden. We've got so many mosquitoes. I've been trying to figure out what can I do to myself that will make them go away. I go out there to shoot those babies, and I'm covered in bites. Will you hand me that towel?
I will. Look at that yolk.
Oh, it's beautiful. And that's the other thing. I found these wonderful eggs.
That's awesome.
They are just beautiful, cage-free, grass-fed.
That's what that screams to me. When you see something like that, that means that's the real deal.
I like those eggs to be almost bloody red yolk, which sounds really disgusting for those of you who don't like red, rare meat. But for me, I really love to see that yolk be bright orange, as bright as it can be. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have you deep frying these guys in the background while I'm making the aioli sauce.
Okay. I'm
going to put together kind of a station for you. We probably need a plate, so let me grab a plate for you.
When you fry things, like I always say, you need wet hand, dry hand, right?
Otherwise, you're going to like the Incredible Hulk, like we did when we were making those bomb bang bang cauliflower bites.
Those things were delicious.
The bang bang cauliflower bites. I don't know if it made the cut on the video, but I was dipping with the same hand as I was doing the eggs, and by the time I get halfway through, I was covered in it. And so, but today's recipe is a lot of hands-on stuff, so you just have to kind of be careful what you're dipping. So I'm going to actually put this over here to you. Now I've got that oil. It's canola oil. It's not olive oil. So you want to make sure you use a neutral oil and get it warm so that, like everything that you fry, pork chops, anything that you're frying, dipping it in, making sure you're getting a sizzle so that you can get a good crisp on it and not let them be soggy. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take your artichoke heart and you're going to dip it in the flour first, right? And then you're going to dip it in the egg. And I'm going to use my other hand. And then from the egg, you're going to...
Flour, egg, panko, is that what
Yep, it's flour, egg, panko. And get that all covered up, good fashion. And I'm going to make these little guys so that Carl can fry them up in the pan. I love artichoke hearts. I just love them. They're so good.
Do you know what temperature, do you have a specific temperature that we should
be thinking about?
Yeah.
You know, that would really be more of a question for you.
Yeah. Well, I know there are some things that everything requires different, but being that it's in that pan, it's real close to the heat and everything, I know at least I would get it around 300.
Okay.
I know in the fryer, in the deep fryers, we fry several different things, and
Come closer to me because I don't know if they can see you.
Yeah, sorry. I keep it at 375, just steady, and that kind of covers a lot of things. We just do a timing on it. But this being in a pan and right by the fire, right? I don't know. I'm gonna wait for it to get up to 300. I happen to have a thermometer with me, so I was checking it.
Go, Mr. Chef.
There's certain things I keep with me, but I was checking it. We'll see. Once it gets to that temperature, then we'll do a tester.
I'm going to say something to you guys since y'all are watching. I want to make sure that everybody knows that I don't have one of those, and I sure want one. So when Christmas comes around, you know what to get me for Christmas.
I got you. That's not a problem at all.
I'm always trying to figure
These things
that
are
out.
awesome.
Oh.
I have one for each trailer that I have. They are awesome. You can test. You can test anything. You know, really. But the meat, any meat that you're cooking, know the temperatures the minimal temperatures they need to be at, and then there's certain, if you want a certain tenderness to it, then you need to take it to that next level. But also it helps you prevent burning things and drying stuff out. So it's good. I love it. It's very handy.
I like it too. Whenever we're making steaks on the grill, that's always a question mark. I like my steaks to be bloody, rare, medium rare. And oftentimes you don't know, and then you get in the house and nothing aggravates the pudding out of me more than to cut open a steak and it be looking like gel in there because it's purple and not quite where it needs to be. I can eat it a little more undercooked than most people can, but I really like it specifically medium rare. And meat thermometers are kind of handy, but I found that the easiest way for me to make sure that the steaks come out right is by the feel. I can take those tongs and touch it.
It's true.
And by the squish is how I know where we're at with that meat getting cooked.
That is exactly right. You know, if you're doing, especially if you do something a lot, you will know it. Like when I'm doing my briskets.
Yep.
I know by the feel.
What they feel like.
Yep.
These are going to be delicious. Absolutely delicious. Now, if you're having a cocktail party, that you know.
Don't invite me over if you got those because I'll eat them all.
That's the thing. I was going to tell you, this is one of those recipes, or little appetizer bite thingies, that they don't last very long. I mean, I remember going to the said restaurant, which we're not going to mention, and I would order 2 orders of this. I would eat through one whole order by myself, and then I'd bring an order home, and it was not on the counter 25-30 minutes. James Edward had already consumed the whole entire order. This is one of those things, and even Brian, who's not a big artichoke person, likes this. Of course, I don't know anybody that really doesn't like fried vegetables.
Right.
That's the thing about the vegetables. If you're having trouble getting your children to eat the vegetables, which, by the way, I'm going to share with you what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I was in the studio all day shooting babies, and my children came in from Houston to be photographed for their annual, what I call their updates. Every baby comes in for an update at least once a year, near their birthday usually, or we try to seesaw it between a beach trip to Galveston one year, or maybe we'll do something during the holidays or spring. and get everybody updated for the year. But they went out to that garden after they took their pictures with me, and I want you to know that they went up to the cucumbers and started picking cucumbers and putting them in their mouth. And went around to the tomatoes, and it was like something, watching somebody that was like me if I was in a Louis Vuitton store, where I would like walk around the corner and be in wonder of the latest bag. And I was like, oh my goodness, look at this, and let me check this, and let me check that. And they were like that with the vegetables, and they were picking the tomatoes and pulling off the little stems and shoving them in their mouths like candy. And I just love the fact that these children are seeing these garden segments and they're seeing these cooking segments. But what I really love most of all is that when they see me for their photos, they're learning how to grow, they're learning how things do grow, and they're excited about eating vegetables, which is like, I mean, that's a huge undertaking. Almost every parent struggles with getting their kid to eat vegetables. But frying up vegetables, I mean, I'm telling you one thing, you can't go wrong with that.
Oh, appreciate it.
When you get them out of the fryer, that's what they look like, right? No surprise for those of us that used to eat them in the restaurants that used to carry them. Is you want to sprinkle them with some salt. And I've got some refined salt here, sea salt. Just sprinkle them with a little bit of salt while they're still just fresh out of the fryer. And I'm gonna, so guys, for the aioli sauce, it's super easy breezy. I need you to get a cup of mayonnaise, your choice, and then I want you to take a lemon, and I like to squish it up before I squeeze it, but it's a full lemon squeezed, so I need a knife under there. If you'll grab, well, you're all covered up, hold on. So 1 lemon, and I would not use lemon juice that's from a bottle or whatever. I would squeeze this fresh. There's something about that just feels different to me. You can taste it. There's a lot of places in this world where you can use the lemon that's from the store-bought, but I like it fresh squeezed when you can. And so there's that. And then I've got to add to this, get that, good. So 1 full squeezed lemon, and I'm going to add to that about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and I'm going to add a large pinch of pepper, and a large pinch of, or I should say a little fistful of the refined sea salt, which is an ancient fine sea salt, which I found at the grocery store that I just love. It's got a little bit of a crunch to it. It's a little bit more of a rocky feel, and I don't know, you probably can't see that. It's got a little bit of Himalayan in there with it, so it's really pretty, and it's got a different kind of texture to it than the regular salt that we normally use for stuff. And all you do, guys, is you just stir that in, stir that all up. And then if you're making this ahead of time, which you certainly could, this will be fine in the refrigerator for a day or 2. I wouldn't leave it in there for very long, but if you were trying to get ready for a party and you were using those as appetizers, then you definitely could go ahead and get this part of it knocked out of the way before you had to spend the time with all of this, which does take some time to do. All right, let's see. Very yummy and very lemony too. So listen guys, I just want you to know these are beautiful. They're crunchy, they're delicious, and they taste just like they did at the restaurant, and they're really, really lovely for anything really, just for a nice snack in the afternoon. But I hope that you found some value in it, and if you did, do us a favor, like and share. Don't forget to ring the bell. And let us know too. Carl and I keep asking you guys for that in the comments below. Let us know if there's anything that you see that you want to learn how to cook, or if there's a recipe that you're not sure how to make. And if we don't know how to make it, we'll absolutely look it up and figure out what to do and maybe put our own spin on things.
Yeah,
and
that's the fun about this thing, is that we can do whatever we want to do. We can try it. We may mess up and we'll be like, well, that didn't work out, but it's just having fun.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're wanting you guys to enjoy it and maybe learn a few things and enjoy some fresh vegetables and enjoy making some recipes that you might have really fallen in love with and might not be able to get anymore, which is, what we were doing today. So,
Right.
anyway, we look forward to seeing you soon on the channel. Take care.